Today is just kind of going to be a punch list kind of day, picking up the loose ends that have been left behind from the last couple projects. Alright, so first up, let's clean the fan. Floor is pretty dirty. Got a few things left over. There's some sawdust on our electrical, that's probably not great. And then really, we got this shelf. This shelf is just like my catch-all for things during construction, and it gets messy so fast. Next up, moving the fridge. Okay, next I'm going to cover this pillar again. I had to take the cover off in order to run the extension cord for our heater controller. And I actually need to add another thing. And I'm going to tackle that one right away then. So, way back when we removed the headliner, I also had to remove the sun visors, and I broke one of the plastic pieces trying to put it back in, so finally got around to getting this glued up. I'm going to be very careful because I've actually broken this twice trying to put it in, so I'm going to do the rest by hand. Alright, cool. Hopefully the glue holds up. Alrighty then. Alright, that was the last of the easy things. There are only 2 more things on this list, but they are going to take a little while to do. So I think I'm going to get started on repairing the nail gun damage, because that stuff needs a little bit to dry before I'm able to paint it. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in and kind of pick at each of these little spots, because there's some loose wood in there, so I just want to get rid of all that wood before I start to go back in and fill in all the holes. Now I'm just going to go through with this hole filler and fill up all the holes. It's around noon now. While I let that hole filler dry, I figured I'd take Kona on a walk. This kind of midday walk definitely doesn't always happen, but because today is a little bit more of a relaxed day on the van build, I have the time to be able to get her out for another walk. So we'll inevitably get out for 3 today. We generally go on an evening walk after dinner as well. And after this, I'll head home and grab some lunch and then back to the van. Alright, so it does look like that hole filler is dried, but I'm just going to give it as much time as possible, and I'm going to do all of the electrical hookups that I have to do first, and then I'll move on to painting over all the hole filler. Make sure we're good. I am going to turn the system off, and now there won't be power anywhere in the van. First thing I'm going to do is fix this. So I have these 3 wires on this peg here, and just with how they're laid out, the cover does not fit over it. So I'm going to figure out how to get this cover to fit. So now I'm going to do the DC outlets. So I've got one on this side, one on this side, and then one up here in the couch. So I'll go right there. So I just got them all hooked up. This is what it looks like in the wall. Really like how clean it is. This just lifts up. And there's a USB-C on top and a normal USB-A on the bottom. Push the button and there we are. I have been hooking like my system wires, these ones, up directly to it. Just because the system wires are so inflexible that it's just hard to get it to stay reliably. So I connect the wires that come with the outlet to the system wires, then to the outlet, and we're good. Beep beep, Kona. Beep beep. Hey, welcome back to another cold morning on the build. It got dark really fast last night, and I was literally in the middle of stripping a wire, and I was like, wow, I can't see what I'm doing at all. I believe there's only one thing I didn't show you that I completed last night, which is the tank level monitor and the switch. I flip this on, and we're at 0 because there's no water tank or no tank level sensor yet, but the monitor is working. And here's where I left off. So I got this cut. This will be a light switch that I'm gonna hook up.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of home. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way.
These are the lights that switch controls. Off, on, and dimming. Look at that. Cool. So now we're immediately gonna make light switches more difficult, and I'm gonna connect the light switch for the main 4 LEDs. So this light switch is what we're calling the bed LEDs, just the 2 lights in the back, which will be over our bed. And then the 4, so we got 2 here and 2 here that you guys can't see. And these are the main LEDs, we're calling them, and those are gonna be on a 3-way switch so that we can control them over here from like the main control hub area. But we're also gonna have the switch down by the sliding door so that when we're coming into or out of the van, we can turn on and off the lights easily from there. So I've gotten as far as I can on the electrical. I ran out of the little connectors to connect wires together, so I can't do anything further on that today. Next up for the electrical stuff is hooking up this fan, and it's gonna go right here where this cord is coming out. Okay, so we're all hooked up. I'm gonna put the fuse in and then see if it turns on. Hey, and we're working. Cool. So I'm going to jump back to fixing the damage from the nail gun, and that is going to be painting over the hole filler that I did yesterday.
On the outside, looking in, I really wasn't sure what I was getting. Between the highway.
With that, we can check off another item on this list. But I do actually need to add another checkbox on here. Apparently I need to do a better job of reviewing my lists before I start videos like this. If you remember from last week, there's 2 little gaps in the walls that I still need to cut a piece of tongue and groove for. The last thing I'm going to be able to do for now in the electrical is replace the AC outlets. So I made a mistake and got GFCI outlets even though our inverter has GFCI protection built in. So those two things are like fighting each other, and my outlets are tripping and not resetting. So I got non-GFCI outlets, and I'm gonna install it over here in this garage outlet that we have, and hopefully that'll fix the problem.
What it was telling me, like Robert Zimmerman singing a song, just gotta keep on keeping on. I really wasn't sure what I was hoping for, but you knew everything you've done this all before. You know what I want, babe.
Alright, so I'm gonna test this before I do the final install into the wall. No sparks, that's a good start. It's charging! Now I can put it in the wall. Awesome. I'm glad that was easy. This one done. Even though there are a couple more connections that I wanted to get done, I don't have the connectors for them right now, so I'm giving myself the nod on that. And now the last thing to do is to finish the walls. I just got the measurements I need, so I'll be making those cuts right now.
You know everything that gets me going. You know what I want, babe. All the little things that I'm not showing. You know what I want, babe. And you know it all before I do it. You know what I want, babe. You know what I need before I say it. You know what I want, babe. You know what I want. You know what I want. You know what I want, babe.
Alright, so I got this one up here. I was just kind of trying to see how it fit, and now it's really snug in there, so I don't want to take it out just to put it back in for the camera. So I'm just going to put a couple nails in here now. Where'd my hammer go? All these seams around this plywood here and here, and even on the ceiling here, are all going to be covered by the upper cabinet. So this is kind of marking where an upper cabinet is going to go, and I'm going to cover all these seams with the outsides of the upper cabinet, so you won't see those. Okay, and this one I only cut to come back to here, because from this point back is all going to be covered by our bed, and this whole slot is actually tapering, so it would just be really hard to get the taper right for that distance. So I just did this area, which will cover the part that will be exposed when the bed is in couch mode. Alright, and with that, we got this one done. And that also marks the completion of this week's video. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you next time.